kitchen. So many recipes to share. So many cooks in the kitchen with meals for you to prepare. We've got fruits and grains, veggies and beans, more healthy food than you've ever seen. So many cooks in the kitchen, plant-based meals to prepare. So many cooks in the kitchen with ideas we're happy to share. So many cooks in the kitchen, so many recipes to share. So many cooks in the kitchen with meals for you to prepare. We've got fruits and grains, veggies and beans, more healthy food than you've ever seen. So many cooks in the kitchen, plant-based meals to prepare. So many cooks in the kitchen with ideas we're happy to share.
Hello and welcome to the January show of So Many Cooks in the Kitchen. My name is Dilla Barman. I'm in North Carolina. Welcome. If you're new to us, we're so glad you found us. And if you've been watching us for a while, we've been around for more than 5 years. We started every single month at the beginning of the pandemic. So welcome back. I'm excited about today's show. We're going to be talking about alternatives to eggs. Everything we do in our show is whole food, plant-based, and vegan. And cooks in the kitchen don't eat eggs. We know eggs are expensive, but they're full of fat and cholesterol. They're not a good choice for the environment, not a good choice for the animals, and not a good choice for our health. So they can cause inflammation. So in today's show, we're going to be talking about alternatives to eggs. Now, at the get-go, I have to tell you that the show was supposed to be last Saturday on the 10th. And for a variety of reasons, we had to move it to the 17th. And I'm traveling on the 17th. So this introduction that I'm giving is actually recorded on the 15th, on Thursday. I am getting on a plane half an hour from when the show starts. And so what I decided to do for the show is back in March 2023, we had a show called So Many Egg Alternatives. And that was a similar show. We presented a lot of nice recipes. I presented scrambled tofu. So what we're going to do is when I'm done, we're going to play the recording of my March 2023 presentation on scrambled tofu. So I'm not live. When you're watching this, I'm probably at the airport about to get on a plane. And I'm sorry to miss the show. Thank heavens, Cody, you're in great hands with Cody. She's going to run the show. So she is live behind the scenes. I haven't gotten on the plane. I might be watching it at the airport, but I'm actually not with you, and I won't be there for Q&A. So sorry to miss the show. Again, we were going to do it on the 10th, but we're doing it on the 17th. So if you look at our handout, it's at our original show a few years ago in 2023, and we'll post the link. It was tinyurl.com/so-many-egg-alternatives-recipes. Now we have shorter links. And that show, we made my scrambled tofu, which we're about to do again. Cauliflower scramble. We made French toast, crepes, chickpea omelet, eggless egg salad, quiche, and a fajita breakfast casserole. So today there's going to be 5 of us, and I'll be sharing my scrambled tofu. And I wanted to mention this: the kids in the kitchen, including my daughter. I'm pretty sure that Anu has done her version of scrambled tofu. She does it differently than I do. She likes it more liquidy. She puts on a lot of nutritional yeast. I love her version too, and so that's another option you can look at. So we'll be making my scrambled tofu, tofu mayonnaise, egg salad. Again, everything is vegan, so not real eggs. Cody's going to be making cream brulee. I love cream brulee. And I think Carolyn's going to be making frittatas. So as always for us, the recipes are healthy, whole food, plant-based, vegan with limited fat. You're going to see in the scrambled tofu segment that many vegans have a favorite scrambled tofu. It's easy. It's a quick dish. I like to use a firm tofu, and then I sometimes use a potato masher, but usually I just use a knife and I cut it. And I should maybe in the next show talk a little bit about knives because I have a new knife that I love. One of the secrets of scrambled tofu is something called kala namak. Kala namak literally means black salt, but it's not black, it's pink. It comes from northwest India and Pakistan, and maybe comes from other places, but I think that's the main source. It's a mineral. It has kind of a sulfurous taste, and that's really the trick. And one of our giveaways today is actually kala namak. So you can find it at Indian grocery stores, you can find it online, and maybe at some other specialty stores. The other trick with scrambled tofu is turmeric. A little bit of turmeric goes a long way, and it gives you the yellow color that you might expect. Too much turmeric. Turmeric is very good for you. It's an anti-inflammatory. It has many other positive qualities. Too much turmeric is bitter, and the color will be a little bit strong. So with that, sorry I'm not with you. I am, as this is being broadcast, probably about to get on a plane. I'm sorry to miss the show, and I'm sorry not to do any cooking for this show. So what you're about to see is my scrambled tofu from a couple of years ago. Have a great show. I will see the comments afterwards. Cody, thank you for running the show. Bye. See you in February. We have a show about loving foods. Bye.
My name is Dilip Barman in Durham, North Carolina, and I'm one of the cooks in the kitchen. We established this program about 2.5 years ago, and every month we meet and we go kitchen to kitchen sharing healthy, vegan, whole food, plant-based recipes with limited fat. We're all Food for Life instructors. Food for Life is a nutrition education program of the Physicians Committee. We teach classes to keep you healthy, and if you or somebody you know has situations like cancer or diabetes, high blood pressure, we have classes to help with that. So today we're talking about egg alternatives, and I know eggs have been in the news. People are complaining about the price of eggs. I don't use any eggs, so I'm actually not aware of how much they cost. You can eat perfectly well without eggs, and there's good reasons to do that. Eggs are very high in fat and cholesterol, and they may cause inflammation. On the other hand, soy, tofu, is helpful for bone health, cholesterol reduction, heart health, and may reduce the risk of several kinds of cancer. Soy is a complete protein. It has all of the essential amino acids we need, and it's a good source of vitamins A and B, calcium, iron, zinc, potassium, and manganese. And it tastes good. Some people say that tofu is kind of bland, but when you cook with it, it picks up the flavors of what you're cooking with. So let's get started. I made a mistake. I'm not cooking at home. I'm cooking at a community center where I do a lot of my classes. And I forgot one thing. I forgot a wonderful pan, which is a high-quality stainless pan. So I'm going to use what the center has, which is a good pan. But you want to have a high-quality stainless, and this is a decent quality one. But I'm going to face a little bit of sticking. And maybe it's just as well, because some of you at home are probably cooking along with us or cooking after the fact and saying, I don't have Dilip's pan. What do I do at home? So maybe, what's the word when something bad happens but it's good? So maybe that's what's happening. So I'm using not the pan that I would like. I'm going to start by turning my pan on, and when you're cooking without oil, you want to keep your pan to a medium to low. That's one of the tricks from keeping things from sticking. And because I don't have my pan, I'm going to start using a little bit of water. Okay, I'm going to start with putting onions and garlic, and all the recipes and the measurements are in our recipe document. So in goes the onions and garlic. Some people, when they cook with onions and garlic, they separate them, but I'm a lazy cook, and I see no reason to do that, so I put them both in. So there go the onions and garlic. And if it were my pan, I would get no sticking. If I start getting a little bit of sticking, I'm ready to add a little bit of water. Okay, so I'm going to let the onions cook just a little bit, not for very long. And then I'm going to be adding the tofu. And what I did with the tofu is I bought either extra firm or firm. This is actually firm tofu. And this is water-packed tofu. So I drained the water, and I squeezed the tofu with my hands a number of times, and I let it sit. Purists will actually put some weight on the tofu and let it sit for an hour or two. I don't bother. So I pressed as much water out as I could, and then I chopped it fairly fine. If you want, you can use a potato masher to really smash the tofu down. My daughter likes to do that, and she's one of the kids in the kitchen. So when she cooks, she likes to actually smush the tofu down. She loves scrambled tofu, as do I. Okay, so the onions, you want to cook till you smell some of the fragrance. And I hear a sizzle, and I'm smelling some of the onion. I used red onion. My favorite onion is the Maui onion, and I get that when I go to Hawaii, I haven't gone to Hawaii in a long time. But I like Walla Walla onions for our friends on the West Coast, and on the East Coast, Vidalia. So I actually like the flavor of Vidalia better than red, but I chose the red for the color, because part of your food is the aesthetic. So I'm going to put in the tofu. Okay, and there goes the tofu. Okay, and I'm going to also add I just want to make sure I'm following the recipe that I published for you. At home, I just kind of mix and match, but according to the recipe I documented, we're going to add some bell pepper. And what I did is I took half a green bell pepper, half a red bell pepper, and I chopped it. I'm going to put that in. Now, the way you chop it is up to you. If you want it fine, that's cool. If you want it thick, that's fine. I did these to maybe 3/8 of an inch. And you can see what's going on here. I don't know if you can see the pan, but there's some pretty colors. So choosing the red and green is really just for the colors. You can put a yellow bell pepper in too. Although I wouldn't pick yellow because we're going to be adding some turmeric to give a yellowish color. So let's use the red and green. Okay. And I'm also going to put some broccoli in. For some reason lately, at least in North Carolina, we're getting particularly sweet and delicious broccoli. So here goes the broccoli. Okay, and all the measurements are in your recipe document. So this is looking exciting so far. Usually I like to add turmeric if I add some water a little bit later in the cooking, but I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of turmeric now. Turmeric raw has a bitter flavor, so I wanted to cook a bit. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of turmeric. Now the turmeric is a great anti-inflammatory, has lots of wonderful properties, but the other property is it makes your scrambled tofu yellowish. So your friends who are eating eggs, it might resemble eggs for them. So that's the other nice benefit of the turmeric. Okay, you want to be careful not to get turmeric on yourself because it stains. Okay, and as I mix it in, we get a little bit of the color. Okay, I'm going to cook it down a little bit, and the next ingredient I'm going to actually add is some mushrooms. Okay, and you can see I'm going to be adding more turmeric. It still isn't very deep in color. One thing I'm not adding yet is salt. Salt is generally good to add late in the cook cycle. Salt can scratch pans, so especially when you're doing some mixing, I would wait on the salt. And by the way, the turmeric is turning a nice yellow, the tofu a nice yellow. I'm going to still add some more turmeric, but that's appealing. You can add black pepper if you want now, but that I usually add at the end. Something about salt and pepper together. Okay, you can add chives. Chives go great with this too. I'm going to add the mushroom. Okay, here goes the mushroom. Now my pan is much broader, so the mushroom would have more pan contact. So the nice thing about cooking is you can improvise, and usually if you have a decent recipe and are pretty comfortable in the kitchen, things come out well even if they're not under perfect conditions. To me, this pan is a little bit too small. I like the ingredients spread out more and more in contact with the heat. But I'll make it work, and I'm happy that nothing is sticking so far. Before I started cooking today, I did a quick test, and with just the tofu, I was getting some sticking. So what I had handy is some water, and I'll try not to use it. The advantage of water is it keeps the sticking down. The disadvantage is some of the water-soluble vitamins evaporate. So I'll try not to use it if I don't have to. I also have some coconut aminos, which I could use. So I'm going to let that cook for a minute, and I've got to brag about something while it's cooking. Those of you who've been watching our show for a while know, what does February mean to you? We're a little bit late, but look what is now in season. This is called Triple Cross Tangerine, and this goes great with scrambled tofu. This is my favorite citrus, and it comes from California. So I'm just demonstrating scrambled tofu, but at home, this might be part of your breakfast. Have some tangerine with that. Have some whole grain toast. I don't like onions and garlic with breakfast, so if you're making this for breakfast, for me, I would leave out the onions and garlic. I know other people, Cody, for example, she likes scrambled tofu and she puts onions and garlic. Her whole family loves onions and garlic. For me, it's heavy, so if I were doing this for breakfast, I would leave that out. So at this point, the dish is pretty much done. You would cook it until you're happy with the mushrooms. The mushrooms are still kind of raw, but for interest of time, I'm not going to cook it the whole time. But now I'm going to start adding some more seasoning. I kind of like the yellow, but I'm going to amplify it a little bit. So I'm going to put a little bit more turmeric. And in spite of what I said about water and about the water-soluble vitamins, I'm going to add just a little bit of water to get the tofu mixed in nicely. The turmeric mixed in nicely. I'm going to just put a little bit of water. Okay. Oh, that's looking good. So some of your friends who eat scrambled eggs may find this looks very similar to what they're used to eating. And if not, have them cross their eyes, and then they'll say, it looks just like scrambled tofu. So that's almost ready to serve. As I said, at home, I'd cook it for a little bit longer. Chives go great with this. I know we cook, PCRM also has a scrambled tofu recipe, which is similar. They use some other spices. We use some other spices in our classes. I think we use cumin when I teach this. I don't like cumin in my scrambled tofu. I don't think it goes so well with some of these other vegetables. But if you like cumin, feel free to use that. So yeah, we do have a very nice scrambled tofu. Recipes are reasonably common. This is the way I like to do it. Towards the end of cooking, I'm going to add some frozen peas. I like the peas to still be fairly firm, so I like to use frozen peas, and I like to cook it just briefly. I don't want to serve the peas frozen, but I also don't want them to be, hot or cooked way down. And just look at the nutrition powerhouse we're serving. No added fat. Of course, the tofu has some fat in it. And you don't have to add the peas. Some people love peas. My daughter loves peas. You're getting so much nutrition from the legumes, the tofu. Adding some more legume, adding peas is just an extra touch if you like the sweetness and the flavor. Now I'm going to add some black pepper, fresh ground black pepper. You can do this at the table too if you want. And finally, some salt. Oh, I'm going to add just a touch of salt, but mostly I'm going to add kala namak. Kala namak means black salt. It's actually pink in color. It's not black. So kala namak comes from northwest India and southern Pakistan, and it has a sulfurous flavor. And for people who are used to eggs, it might make them give them some additional hints that this is kind of an egg-like dish. So kala namak. We don't need to buy eggs, and I think one of the other cooks in the kitchen is actually showing us how to mix, I'm not sure if it's going to be banana or flaxseed for baked goods. And there you go. Get a bowl. So this is my scrambled tofu. Easy peasy. No sticking. I'm really happy about that. So I know for sure at home if you use a reasonable quality pan, you shouldn't have problems with sticking. I'm on low medium. Okay? So just so we can pass the baton, I'm going to take a little bit of the tofu to sample it with you. And then while the show goes on, I'll let this cook just a little bit more. But let's see what it tastes like. So here's my scrambled tofu. It's very nice.
Hi everybody, welcome to my kitchen in Abu Dhabi again. It's 2026. I am a year older. And today we're working on egg substitutes. We had done that in the past, as you know, from Dilip's show just before me. He did a tofu scramble from our show in 2023. So this time I'm going to do a mayonnaise made from tofu. And if you go online, you will find many, many recipes for it. This is the one I'm doing. And today is an experiment because I could only find thick tofu instead of the silken tofu, which I normally use for this recipe. But anyways, it should work and it will be good, I'm sure. And for that reason, I'm using the high-speed blender rather than the immersion blender or the small food processor, which does a wonderful job with the little silken tofu. You may wonder why make tofu mayonnaise, because there are a lot of commercial brands out there. So I went online and checked. There's an organization called openfoodfacts.org. They tell you all about what's in different foods, and they have their own grading system. But I looked at a popular brand of vegan mayonnaise, and you see that for 100 grams, it has 72 grams of fat. So that's a lot. And if you look at the one that we're going to do today, I have the tofu thing. This, for 100 grams, this one has 2 grams of fat. So that's a huge difference. And not only that, but the vegan mayonnaise, the popular brand, has 11 ingredients in it, from cornstarch to natural flavorings to, and it's modified cornstarch, by the way, to calcium disodium EDTA and paprika extract, whatever that is. So instead of 11 ingredients, we have our tofu, our wholesome lemon juice, Dijon mustard, which I looked up the ingredients in this. It's got water, mustard seeds, vinegar, salt, and citric acid, which is basically lemon juice. Tiny bit of salt. And if you want some agave syrup for making it slightly sweeter, and if you want it a bit more tangy, you can put vinegar. But in essence, mine has 4 ingredients plus a 5th optional one, and all are, wholesome. And then if you want, you can add a pinch of turmeric to give it a yellower color if that's what you want. And this is a versatile recipe because it's you can adjust the flavor profile. What I'm doing is the basic one, just normal mayonnaise, let's call it. So you can use it for potato salad, pasta salad, sandwiches, wraps, whatever. But if you add to it spices and garlic and let's say some curry powder and stuff like that, and you could use it as a dip as well. So here it is. My tofu is in the little high-speed blender, and I'm making a little bit today. I add my lemon juice. I'll add my mustard, just a pinch of salt, and I am going to add a tiny bit of vinegar, even though on my recipe it's optional. And I'm going to do an itsy bit of agave syrup as well. It squirts a lot, so this is 1/4 of a teaspoon. And I added that, half of that, and that's it. Let's hope for a miracle with the firm tofu. Let's hope that it works. Otherwise, at home you have to try it with silken tofu. they didn't have silken tofu in the supermarket. That's the beauty of living in Abu Dhabi. You can't always find all ingredients all the time. Here we are. So I will also. It's being stuck a little. I'm gonna give it a little shake and so I usually don't have too much strength to open these. So here I am. Oops. So it is indeed very creamy. I use my fingers as always. I have a empty jar here. I'm going to. It's nice and creamy, so it works with not silken tofu as well, even though I have to use a different gadget for it. So I made a fraction of what I give in my recipe. And you can experiment with it. Like I say often, please do try this at home. And here we are. I got a lot of white hands. This is very nice. Okay, so I am going to give it a taste test. It's actually very good. It does have a little bit of the hint of tofu in it. But I'm going for a sec. It's very nice. So you can have your mayonnaise and eat it too, without having to worry about too much fat, too much salt, not to mention because the store-bought brand has 1.5 grams of salt for every 100 gram, and this has a fraction of it. Well, that's all, folks. I hope you made this tofu mayonnaise at home and try different versions of it, different flavors. A little bit of paprika also enhances it. Yes, you see, I haven't used the turmeric and the paprika, but they're both great additions. And play with it. So, before I go away, I'd like to say that it's my colleague Susanna who follows in the sequence. Take it away, Susanna. And my salam from Abu Dhabi. See you next month. Bye.
All right. Thank you, Donna. Wow, it's perfect. You made a tofu mayo, and you can actually make that and use that in my eggless salad. So thanks for that. Hi, everyone. I'm Susanna Dickman from Evansville, Indiana, and I am going to make a really quick eggless salad today. And I like this recipe because it's easy. You know, when you come home and there's nothing to eat, it's like, oh, I have tofu. I have everything I need. I also made a tofu mayo that I like to keep in my fridge because I use it, for salads like this. I use it for spread on if I'm having a sandwich. So it makes this recipe come together really quickly. All right, so we're starting with a block of tofu. This is extra firm and I didn't press it and drain it. And I am just going to begin by just mashing it with a fork. You don't have to worry if there are a couple big pieces. As you mix all the other ingredients, it will get smaller. But we're just going to get that into bite-sized pieces. And then we're going to start adding the ingredients. So we're going to add onion, always onion. I like to use a red onion because it has more antioxidants, but yellow, white, whatever kind of onion, just important to add onion. You can add fresh celery. Sometimes instead of celery, I like to add some pickled relish. And this is a sweet pickled relish. You could use a dill pickled relish. Sometimes it'll just be whatever I have on hand. I might spoon some out of there a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and add that. Okay, let me get that picked up there. There we go. All right, so we've got about a 1/4 cup of that. Again, sometimes I don't even measure. I just get my tablespoon, my spoon out and just start scooping it in. Let me go ahead and get this mixed up really well and smash it a little bit. You see, I'm kind of getting that tofu in little smaller pieces. And I actually think I'm going to go ahead and add some more of the relish because I really like how it flavors it. So let's go ahead and mix that up. That looks better. I think I have the same amount of relish and our onion. Okay, so next I'm going to add some mayo, and you want to start out with about a 1/4 cup of the mayo. And again, I know some people like a little more mayo. Some people would prefer a little less. That's what I like about this recipe. It's forgiving, and you can really add what you like. Sometimes I will even add some shredded carrots because I really do love carrots. And I know you're saying carrots in an egg salad? No, but why not, right? Okay, that looks like enough, but we're missing something from a traditional egg salad. And what could that be? Well, it's the color. So we're going to add some turmeric to give it that color. I also have some onion powder, garlic powder, some dill, and a pinch of salt, which you can either choose to add salt or you can leave it out. But let me get all that turmeric. And then we're going to add some just plain white vinegar, again, to give that tanginess. So now we're going to mix it up. And we're just about done. There is one more ingredient that is optional and totally based on your taste, and that is black salt. I know we've used black salt in other recipes for so many cooks. So if you like it, you could add, I always like to start with less and then add more. So typically I'll go with a 1/4 teaspoon and then mix it up, taste it, and add more if I think. But sometimes I think just that 1/4 teaspoon is enough. So this is it. You see how quickly it comes together, and it's very, I'm starting to get that eggy smell, but in a good way, right? That eggy smell is coming from something that isn't full of cholesterol and gonna harm our bodies. So this is it. This is a pretty good size. I put it in the big bowl so you could all see it. I love to have it over some Ezekiel bread or on some crackers or just over a bed of arugula or other lettuce. And it's a quick and easy lunch. All right. Well, as always, thank you so much for spending your Saturday with us. And next up is Cody. So, Cody, I always love to see what you're cooking. Take care, everyone. Be safe.
Hi, Susanna. Your recipe looks wonderful as always. I can't wait to give it a go sometime real soon. Hi, everybody. I'm Cody Stubbe. I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. Thanks for joining me in my kitchen. Today, I'm going to be making a fun little dessert. It's called creme brulee. This is what it's going to look like when we're done. So I'll show you step by step here how to do it. Super simple, very delicious, kind of like one of those decadent desserts that you serve at like fun little get-togethers. And it looks like it would take a lot of work, but this recipe is very simple. The original recipe does use eggs. This, of course, does not use eggs. We have some other ingredients to put in there, so we don't need those eggs. So this is going to be like your healthier version of that. So let's get started. So first we're going to take about a cup of coconut milk, and this can be full fat coconut milk, or it can be lesser fat coconut milk. Today I'm just doing the regular can of it. And there's different brands, and I just like to shake it up because if you just take the top, it's just gonna be the thicker part, the cream, and I just want a little more like a thinner, so I can just kind of pour it out, makes it easier. So mixes it up really nice if you just do that before you open it. But if you forget, you can just, use like a fork or something or a whisk and whisk it. Now, if you had this in the fridge, it'd be more solid on top. So I just keep this room temperature, and that's totally fine. It's easier to shake up. Okay. So, and this recipe, the one that I shared with you guys, makes like 3 ramekins is what you call them. They're these little glass dishes. And they usually come with lids because you're going to put them in the refrigerator because they need to set up. So what would I do, since I have a family of 5, if I make this, usually I will triple the recipe and it will make 8 of these little dishes, which is really nice. And then make sure we have plenty for everybody. Okay, so we're going to do 1 cup of our coconut milk. We're going to put it in our pan here. There we go. All right, so let's put this over here for now. Okay, and then we're gonna gotta sweeten it a little bit. We're gonna do some pure organic cane sugar. You could also do a little bit of maple syrup instead of the cane sugar if you wanted to. So you want to do 2 tablespoons of that. All right, and then a half a teaspoon of what's called agar agar. And what it is, it's like a gelatin powder, but it's only derives from plants. So there's no animal product in this whatsoever. And that's usually what you see in gelatin products. So you want to make sure it says agar agar. And I think I just ordered this online because I could not find this in my local grocery store. But it's a great thickener. And it doesn't take much. And you want to get the powder. I think it also comes in flakes, but get the powder. Make sure I got the right amount. Go. Okay. All right. And then we're going to do 2 teaspoons of this vanilla extract. You want to get the pure vanilla. You don't want to get the imitation, okay? Because that's not true vanilla. I won't talk about where that comes from, but I know we talked about that in an earlier episode. If you want to ask it in their Q&A session, feel free to. All right, so this is a very vanilla type flavored dish, so you want to add quite a bit. So there we go. And you can always adjust this. So if you find that that's not enough vanilla, you can always add more. All right, and then we want, just to make it kind of like that yellow kind of egg yolk color, we want to add like a little bit of turmeric powder to it. I just do just kind of like a little pinch. I just don't want to put my fingers in there, so I just grabbed a little bit. And you can always add more, just whatever color you feel like you want it to look, okay? All right, so I'm going to whisk this up, and then I'm going to turn this on and get it going here. And that's the color. So I think I'm going to go a little bit more turmeric in there and make it a little more yellowy. I don't know if that's a word, yellowy, but a little more yellow, I guess you could say. I tend to make up my own words. All right, that's a little bit better, but I think I'm going to go even a little bit more. Okay, so let's see if I can get this going. It's going to be a little noisy at the moment. I'm going to add just a little bit more in there. So it probably turns out to about 1/4 teaspoon total. Here, that's still going to be a good color. It tends to change a little bit once it's in the refrigerator. Like this really starts getting more of a vibrant color. Okay, so I'm just whisking this. I don't want any clumps in there. This is going to get pretty hot. This is one of those conduction burners. So when I take this off, it will stop going, but it will still be hot underneath of it. And so I'm just going to whisk this up and leave it on here until right before you start seeing the bubbles come up, like it's going to start boiling. You want to take it off right at that moment. I can smell that vanilla. It smells so good. There's another variation of this recipe that I want to make down the road. Maybe I'll see if I can post it on a future show, but I want to make one that uses silken tofu instead of coconut milk as a different option. So this is already steaming. I don't know if you can see that, but it's steaming up. And there's how it's looking. It's not quite bubbling yet. It's getting close though. It's amazing how fast this heats up. So you really have to watch it. I don't want to burn it. And if you have never tried agar powder for a thickener, you should give it a go. See what you think. It works great for desserts. Oh, okay. So now it's boiling. That was super quick. Okay. Luckily, these little handles are not hot at all. Okay. So what I'm going to do very carefully is I'm going to pour this into the ramekins. If you kind of like connect the ramekins together, it should hopefully be a little bit easier. A little more elbow room here so I don't knock anything off. Okay. And then you just want to evenly distribute your liquid in all these ramekins. And it's got a really nice color to it. Go. There. It's pretty simple. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these get room temperature, and then I'm going to put the lids on them and then put them in the fridge for probably a couple hours and see how they'll get like solid. And then they will be like this. See how they're just nice and solid. Okay, so once they're nice and solid, you're going to take them out like right before you serve them. And you're going to take your sugar again and sprinkled probably like a teaspoon over the top. Just like a nice little amount here. You can also use brown sugar if you want. All right, so then this is the fun part. You get your little mini torch. And now, if you have kids, just make sure you're really careful. Maybe you can teach them safely how to use this. There's a safety lock on it. I do teach my kids, they're getting older now, how to use this safely, but they have to use it around me. So you get your sugar on there, and this is the one that's been in the fridge. And then you're going to push this down, and you can probably hardly see there's a little tiny blue flame on there. And you're just going to start kind of cooking that sugar on top. And you'll see it kind of starting to smoke again. So it's going to smell really good. Now remember, this is a dessert, okay? You're not going to eat these every day. This is for like a special occasion kind of dessert, okay? This is just your healthier version of the original creme brulee. Okay, so I did about half of that. So you see how it's nice and crusted there. And it smells really good. All right, I would normally do the rest of it, but just for the sake of time, I'm not going to do that. I got one that's already done here. So you can put as much on there. I just like just a little bit. I don't want a ton of sugar on there because I'm still trying to keep it somewhat of a healthy type dessert here. And let's see if I have me a spoon to try it. Well, I'll use my little tiny little teaspoon because I forgot to grab a spoon. But yeah, it's super good. So the top is nice and crusty, and then it just kind of scoops out. That's so good. But the inside's nice and solid. As you can see, it holds its shape. So good. Okay, well, I'm going to be devouring this during our Q&A session coming up here soon. So please join me. Come with your questions. I'm going to be helping host it today, and hopefully I can get Carolyn to join me as well. But please join us in Q&A session. And up next, we have Carolyn, and she's in Montgomery, Alabama, and she's going to make a frittata. So I'm so excited to see that recipe as well. So thank you for joining me to learn how to make a very simple vegan creme brulee. I will see you in Q&A.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Cody. That looks so good. I love creme brulee, and so I'm going to ask you some questions about that in the Q&A. So, like Cody said, I'm Carolyn in Montgomery, Alabama, and I am making a frittata. And if you've never heard of a frittata before, then you're wondering, what is a frittata? So, a frittata is a traditional Italian egg dish that it's crustless. And I kind of think of it as like a crustless quiche. I guess that's the closest thing to it. So typically it's made with meat and, all kinds of different meats, vegetables, cheeses, that kind of thing, cooked in a pan. And then you pour an egg mixture over it and then put the whole thing in the oven. So we're going to be very similar to that today, except we don't have actual chicken eggs. We're using firm tofu. So I have a pan. I got myself this new pan that I really like. It is a cast iron pan, but it's enameled. And so really very oven safe up to, I don't even think it had a limit. So it's oven safe because it's cast iron, super heavy. So that can go right from the stovetop into the oven. So you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And then we're starting with, and I already have my pan nice and warm. So we're starting with 1 onion diced. And I have a red bell pepper, also diced. There we go. And I have about a half a cup of thinly sliced mushrooms. I used to absolutely hate mushrooms, so I still have to kind of trick myself into eating them sometimes. So putting them in something like this, I don't really even notice them. I know they're good for me, so I try to eat them. All right, so while that's cooking, we're going to make the batter that goes over the top. Okay, so I'm going to get that cooking and add maybe a little bit of water to keep it from sticking. I think I got my pan kind of hot. Let me turn it down a little bit. All right, so we want it to cook. I'll show you what I'm doing here. We want it to cook long enough that the mushrooms release their liquid and the onions start to just slightly brown a little bit. Okay, so while that's going, we're going to make that batter that goes over the top. So you could use a food processor or you could use a blender, up to you. And I'm using firm tofu, the kind in the refrigerated section, the kind that comes like packed in water. You don't really have to press all the liquid out. Perfectly fine if you don't. I'm just kind of pulling it into big chunks and throwing it into my food processor. For some recipes, you want to press the liquid out. You don't really have to for this one. All right, and then we're adding some tapioca starch. It's about 2 tablespoons. If you don't have tapioca starch, you could use arrowroot powder, potato starch, any kind of starch that holds things together. So I'm using 2 tablespoons tapioca starch, about 1/4 of a cup of nutritional yeast. I love nutritional yeast. So this is a real typical brand, Bragg's, but there's lots of other ones on the market. All right, and then we have, I noticed on the recipe I wrote 1 teaspoon onion. So it's supposed to say 1 teaspoon onion powder. So it's onion powder and 1 teaspoon garlic powder. And then we have some turmeric, just 1/4 teaspoon, just for that nice color, but also turmeric's really good for you. So there's never a bad reason to add turmeric. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of what you've heard about so far already today a few times, kala namak, also called Indian black salt. And I have about a 1/2 teaspoon, gives it that eggy flavor. I buy big bags of it because I use a lot of it for tofu scrambles and things like that. So this one is one I found on Amazon. If you have an Indian market near you, you'll probably be able to find kala namak at an Indian market. Okay. Oh, vegetables are looking good. Okay, and then also into the food processor, I have 1/4 of a cup of non-dairy milk. Just make sure it's not sweetened or flavored. You don't want vanilla, just plain unsweetened non-dairy milk. And then I'm going to get the lid on this. Okay, and then I'm just going to whirl this up until it's smooth and creamy. Okay, let's check and see how it's doing. No, not quite there yet. Okay. Try another whirl. All right, let's see how that looks. Oh yeah, okay, that's really smooth and creamy. So we're going for almost like a thick mayonnaise sort of consistency with that. Okay, and then back to the pan. We'll take a look at that again. So into the pan, we're going to add about 1.5 cups of whatever your favorite vegetable is, but cooked already. So you want this part to be cooked. So let me go ahead and add a little more water to it. It's starting to stick. So examples might be potatoes, like diced potatoes cooked, or broccoli, or cauliflower, asparagus, artichoke hearts. So just canned artichoke hearts. Those are already cooked. Really your favorite vegetable, about a cup and a half. So what I have is a cup and a half of cooked diced Yukon Gold potatoes and some artichoke hearts, just canned artichoke hearts. And about half and half of each. So really, I mean, play with it. Make it your own, whatever your favorite vegetables are. Broccoli would be a really nice, colorful option. Even shredded carrots, that could be okay. Some zucchini, eggplant, really whatever you want. But about a cup and a half of lightly steamed vegetables into it. And then I'm also going to add just a handful of some chopped greens. In this case, it's baby kale that I've chopped up. And get that mixed in until the kale starts to wilt just a little bit. Everything's kind of heated through. Okay, it's very bright and colorful. All right, that's just about right. Okay, and then on top of that, we're going to add some fresh cracked black pepper. Okay, and I'm not really adding any more salt because I already added that half teaspoon of kala namak, so I don't really want to add more salt to it. But you could, you know, if you really want it to be, if you're somebody who's really into salt, then you could add a little more salt to this. Okay, that is beautiful. So to this, we're going to add all of that batter from our food processor. So I'm just going to toss it on top right now because I don't want it to kind of start cooking on it. I just want it to, I'm going to turn the heat off too. So make sure you turn your heat off. You could just remove it from the heat, but we don't really want it to cook on there. Okay, so let's see if I can get all of that out of the, that's the hard part, getting it all out of here. It's a lot harder getting it out of a blender, which is why I usually try to use my food processor. Okay, just about got most of it anyway. So you get the idea. You want to scrape it all out of there and then start mixing it together, getting everything nice and coated in the batter. Look how beautiful. Oh, it smells really good too. Okay, so if you like any other kind of seasoning, absolutely add it. Curry powder could be really good. Smoked paprika, that kind of thing. This is just sort of the basic recipe. And then I'm spreading it, once I get it really well mixed, I'm going to spread it all the way out in the pan. Like that. Make it nice and flat and spread out completely in the pan. And then when you get it to where you feel like it's pretty evenly spread throughout, you could, if you want to, decorate the top with maybe some chopped tomatoes, asparagus, red onion, some herbs, that kind of thing over the top. But it's really very pretty, just like this. And then bake it in the oven for 350 degrees for about 40-45 minutes. Now, what do you do if you don't have an oven-safe frying pan? You could use just a casserole pan and just spread it out into a casserole dish that's been lined with parchment paper. Or what I did with the one I made earlier today, I have one already finished, is I did it in a springform pan. So the kind that, with the sides that pop open, it has a little handle and you pop it open. So, but what I did was, I'll show you on the down shot. I decorated the top with some cooked asparagus that was lightly steamed asparagus, some cherry tomatoes cut in half, some red onions, some fresh herbs from the garden, and then baked it in a springform pan that I lined with parchment paper too, just to keep it from sticking. But look how beautiful. So that is something you could absolutely serve to guests. It is just so pretty and it tastes fantastic. So it's like a quiche without a crust, basically. And when you cut it, you'll slice it into, you know, pie or cake-like shapes, and eat it like, you know, a brunch. It would be a great brunch. It could be a nice lunch. We eat this for any meal. It's breakfast, it's lunch, it's dinner. So it's whatever meal you want it to be. But it can be beautiful if you want to decorate the top. You can leave it plain, but you have options. So if you want to make it in an oven-safe frying pan and you have an oven-safe frying pan, do that. That's more of the traditional way. And then if you don't have the oven-safe frying pan, and then a spring form or casserole pan would work equally well. So I hope you ask questions. And also decorate yours. I have some steamed asparagus left and some herbs. It's a lot of fun to make it really pretty if you want to do it that way, but play with your food, and do try this at home, as John always says. Do try this at home. I hope you ask questions during our Q&A, because today we're giving away some kala namak, like that, and a subscription to the Vegetarian Resource Group magazine. So I'm going to go back to Cody, and we will be answering any questions, but you do have to ask a question during Q&A to be considered for the drawing. So.
Okay. All right, let me get you back in here, Carolyn, if you're ready for the Q&A.
Yeah.
There you are. Okay.
Hey.
All right. Hi. Wonderful. That was such a beautiful dish you made. Oh my gosh, Carolyn, so pretty.
And it tastes so good. So yeah, my mouth is watering looking at it. It's delicious. This is so good. Yeah. They say we eat with our eyes first, right?
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah. So
well, first, I'm
I'm
sorry.
excited
First, I
about
want to apologize to the beginning of the show. I think I messed up. So, but then I got things going. So I just want to apologize for that. I think it was maybe a blank screen for just the intro, and then I got it going. I apologize. But anyway,
we're going. It's all right.
That's right. We're getting there.
Exactly.
I told Dilip, I said, okay, I'm not going to be able to do as good a job as you. And I proved that right.
Well, he's had a lot more practice.
He has. Yes, he has. And he's actually on his flight right now.
Yep, I know. Yeah, I think he just took off. So, yep. Oh, question. We actually already have a question. What is agar? Is an agar? So, yeah, Janet asks, what is agar? So typically it's called agar. For some reason, it's like a double name. And it's a seaweed. It's a kind of seaweed product that naturally thickens things. And so interestingly, with agar, you do have to heat it to make it really work. So it's used in a lot of vegan cheeses, things like that you want to firm up. And so, yeah, it's an interesting product, but it is made from a seaweed. So, and you can find it. When I had a Whole Foods here, I could find it at my Whole Foods. We don't have a Whole Foods anymore. They left us. We were very sad. So you can find it online.
Yeah, that's how I got mine.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to do it. So,
and a little bag of it will last you for quite a while too.
Absolutely.
I think I've had mine in my pantry. I don't use it much, but it's been in there for probably like 2 years, and it hasn't, it still works fine and everything, but it lasts a long time. So
right. It does.
Nice substitute to have for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was going to ask you a question about your creme brulee.
Yeah.
So do you think you could make it with soy milk instead, or does it have to be coconut milk for some reason?
No, I was thinking about that. That was just the first recipe.
I asked that.
You asked that? Oh, yeah. I got my little helper over here. She's
Nora?
my backup for StreamYard today. So, yeah, Nora asked me that same question, Carolyn. So I'm just going to have to do some playing around, I think, or like maybe like a silken tofu variation of it might work. But as far as like heating up with the agar, I would probably have to do the milk base, because I don't know how I could do that with the tofu so easily. It might be more chunky when I put my agar in there, to mix it. So yeah. I don't know. But
whirl it up, like whirl all of it together in the food processor and then cook it.
And then, that's a good idea. Okay.
That could work.
Yeah. I'm going to have to do some
play with your food.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like Janet's got another question here. Is there a substitute for the agar, or is it essential?
There really isn't a good substitute for agar-agar except possibly tapioca starch, which I don't think it's going to do exactly the same thing. Tapioca starch makes things kind of stretchy. It's a binder, but it doesn't really, it kind of firms things up. So, I mean, you could try it with tapioca starch, I think, maybe arrowroot, but there's just something about agar-agar that it just sets things more firmly, which is why it's used in cheeses, vegan cheeses, as opposed to tapioca starch in vegan cheese. The agar-agar makes it really set firmly. So
Pretty quickly too is what I like about it. It's like as soon as you get it hot, get it in
yeah,
your dish and then let it get room temperature. Then you can put it in your fridge.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could try tapioca starch. It just may not come out as firm. I don't know. With creme brulee, it might not be such a bad thing to not be super firm. Maybe it's okay if it's a little bit. I would just be afraid tapioca starch would make it like gooey, like cheese. So that's not really what you're going for with creme brulee.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, agar-agar yeah, it's a weird product. It's a gel. Like it's like a gelatin alternative. So instead of using gelatin, which we know is made from cow and pig bones, not vegan, it's basically the vegan alternative to gelatin. So yeah, that would be hard because tapioca starch really doesn't do the exact same thing. I don't know. Let me do some thinking about that one, but I don't think there's a lot of great alternatives, but
It's kind of its own thing. It's kind of just
it
kind of
is.
nice to have in your toolbox of ingredients if you're wanting to make, some like you said, vegan cheese. It's a great one for that. That's something I want to dive into a little bit more too. Like a healthy version of the plant-based cheeses because it's
Right.
expensive if you buy it. We don't use it much, but on like Fridays we make homemade pizzas, and it's always nice to have a little vegan cheese on top. I'd like to just have
Right.
my own, just shred it on there, but
Exactly. Well, if you're doing like a mozzarella cheese, you could do tapioca starch in that because that makes it stretchy. So
Yeah.
that's not that big of a deal. If you're trying to find a slicing cheese, then agar-agar is more what you're looking for. So I did a lot of cheese making, vegan cheese making last year in Italy when I went for cooking school. We made a lot of cheese and made it ourselves, making it a lot healthier. And we used a lot of agar-agar. We also used weirdly white watermelon seeds.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. That's wild. Who would have thought of that, right? Like, oh, let's just go ahead and try watermelon seeds.
Miyoko Shinner would have thought of
That's
that.
amazing. Like
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's crazy. And then you mix it up, you whirl it up, make a white watermelon seed milk, and then cook it up with agar-agar, nutritional yeast, all kinds of stuff in it. But it thickened into like logs of mozzarella or scoopable like you would do with a caprese. It was really cool.
That's
So
neat.
yeah,
Sounds like an amazing experience you had.
it was. But yeah, agar-agar is its own thing. I don't know.
Yeah. It
I don't know.
certainly is. How about some other egg substitutes like we talked about? Well, I don't know if we did. I don't think we mentioned at all like flax egg, but flax egg is another one that's a good egg substitute. I like it for baking. How about you?
Exactly. Yeah, I use it in cookies. When I make cookies, I'll make a flax egg. And I have discovered recently you don't actually even have to mix it up into a flax egg. You could just add a tablespoon of flax with the dry ingredients and then enough liquid ingredient and let it sit before you scoop the cookies out that it actually also still makes the flaxseed gel a little bit.
That's awesome. Yeah. I think I've done that before and it worked out pretty good. And you have to grind up your flax seeds, right? To make like a flax meal.
Exactly. Yeah, I made the mistake years and years and years ago I was reading a recipe when I first was new to eating this way, like 17 years ago. And that's hard to believe. It's been 17 years in June, this coming June. And I was reading a recipe that said, make a flax egg. And I thought, what is a flax egg? And so I looked it up and it said, mix 1 tablespoon flaxseed with 3 tablespoons water. Well, okay. So I took 1 tablespoon of flaxseed, but it was whole flax seeds. And it just sat there and I was like, this is not doing anything. I just had wet flax seeds. So I was like, I didn't realize you have to grind it up first. I had no idea. So
Oh, I've been there too, Carolyn. Just it's funny when I transition too, just learning it's different terminologies that you're not used to using. I think one of our watchers on the show here said something about that too, the different terms like nooch and stuff. You just kind of
right.
know it. It's just not in our normal, usually before you're vegan. And then once you're vegan, then you start like, what is that? And then you're like, oh, it's
Right.
nutritional yeast. And
Like nooch, yeah, or vegan catnip.
yeah.
I mean, we do have our own language, I guess.
Yeah. And how about applesauce? Do you use applesauce as an egg substitute? Or I guess more of like an oil substitute, isn't it? More to keep
to me,
things-
it's more of an oil substitute. Yeah, because I make scones, pumpkin scones that have applesauce and pumpkin instead of oil.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, there's the best egg substitutes really silken tofu makes a pretty good egg substitute in things. If you whirl it up, so it's not little chunks. And then really flaxseed is one of the best. Chia seed too. So ground chia seed will do something very similar. So yeah, there's some pretty good egg substitutes out there. And oil substitutes. So, which my favorite is just water when you're, pan sauteing something. So
yeah, it works really nice.
yeah.
Oh, so do we want to talk a little bit about like why we should substitute eggs? Like why we don't want to eat them? So first of all, of course, it can contain salmonella. You don't want salmonella poisoning, but there's also like nutritional reasons why we want to not eat eggs. What would you say about that, Carolyn?
Oh, cholesterol. Absolutely. There are little cholesterol bombs. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a lot in one
Loaded.
egg. Yeah. I
They
agree.
are loaded with cholesterol. So
It's like average, let's see, a single egg. This is according to nutritionfacts.org. One egg has 207 milligrams of cholesterol on average.
mhm.
So one egg can equal your upper limit for daily cholesterol intake. And of course can, in terms of cardiovascular disease risk.
Right.
And it can also contribute to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease too. So.
Exactly. So yeah, the saturated fat and cholesterol is no joke in eggs. I mean, there's a lot of it. So somebody asked me the other day, eggs are bad. What? Eggs aren't vegan? And I said, no, eggs are not vegan. They come out of a chicken, so they're not vegan. And yeah, it's supposed to be a baby chick, so it's just not fertilized, or hopefully not fertilized. But yeah, I used to, in the summers, this is a crazy story, but I used to work on my grandfather's poultry farm, and he had a huge poultry farm in Connecticut. And one summer I remember helping my uncle candle eggs, meaning you run it over a really bright light as it rolls over the light, and you're looking for a blood spot to pop up. And if you see a dark blood spot, that means it got fertilized. Nobody wants to break open an egg in their frying pan and find a baby chick. So that would be horrifying. So they try really hard not to sell you that. But small farms where they have a rooster around, that happens sometimes. So yeah. My biggest reasons for not eating eggs are the three that I think it's Dr. Greger on Nutrition Facts who mentions the 3 words that they're not allowed to use when advertising eggs, because we have our truth in advertising laws. So they can't just tell you something that's not true. And so they cannot in egg advertising say eggs are healthy. They cannot say part of a healthy breakfast. They actually can't really say that. They can't say nutritious. They can say this kind of egg is more nutritious than that kind of egg because it's a comparison, but they can't just describe them as nutritious.
Really?
Because that's not legal, because they are not nutritious. And then the third word they cannot say in egg advertising is the one that is the big clincher for me: safe. They cannot say they are safe because they are the leading cause of foodborne illness in our country.
Wow.
Eggs.
Wow.
And so if you can't call them healthy, nutritious, or safe, why would you eat that? Like
That's a great point. Oh my goodness.
kind of horrifying.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's the big reason. Those are my 3 big reasons why I do not eat eggs. They're not healthy, nutritious, or safe.
Yeah.
So yeah. But there's so many good substitutes. So
Yeah. Right. Why need to, right? We got
exactly.
another question now from Lisa. Would
Okay.
tapioca starch be an acceptable substitute in any of these recipes?
I use tapioca starch in my frittata. So there were 2 tablespoons of tapioca starch in this. So you can substitute tapioca starch for pretty much any other starch in recipes like this. So yeah, for the if it calls for any other kind of starch, potato starch, arrowroot powder, whatever, then yes, you can substitute tapioca starch for that. Cooking tapioca starch by stirring it over a pot, though, in a liquid makes it gooey and stretchy. So I didn't do that. That's why I said I wanted to take it off the heat and then put it in the oven, and it helps it set. But it didn't get gooey because I didn't cook it in there. So, but yeah, tapioca starch is always a really good, really good thickener for things, especially if you want it to be gooey and stretchy like cheese. So yeah, if you're just trying to thicken it like gravy, I wouldn't use tapioca starch for gravy because then you'll have like gooey, stretchy gravy. So that would be really weird.
That'd make for a weird dinner.
Yeah, strange. Here's my gravy. Woo. So, yeah, like what you're trying to eat it and like stretching. That would be strange. So yeah, so you want to use like cornstarch, potato starch, arrowroot powder, that kind of thing for gravy. But tapioca starch works in most of the things we made today, I think. So can't think of what else did we make. I mean, there's no reason for it in the egg salad. That doesn't. So yeah, I think everything we cooked today, you could probably use tapioca starch.
Except for my creme brulee that we talked about earlier.
Well, I mean, you could try it in place of the agar-agar if you want to try it. Like, play
I
with your
guess,
food.
yeah. I guess we'll see if
Maybe.
anybody tries it.
I mean,
If anybody tries that, let us know how it turned out.
well, if you try cooking it, though, it's going to go gooey and gummy. So that, but if you just bake it, that might work. So
That's true. Interesting.
I don't know. I have to play with that. I'm not, I'm not really sure.
All right. Oh, we got Janet. She just made a comment here. I use a powdered egg substitute for baking. I think it's called Energen. I think I've used that before.
I have energy egg. That's what I've always called it, is energy egg, but I could be wrong. It's in bags, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I think I've used a little bit. I guess I kind of got away from that and started using more of the flax egg. I think I feel like the flax egg did a better job for what I was making, I think.
Right.
But
Oh, I just thought of another egg substitute. Let me see if I have it. Should have some right here somewhere. Wow, where'd it go? If I can find it. I had an egg substitute. Oh shoot, I don't even see it. The kind in the bottle. Did I put it in the door? I don't know where it went. It's the kind in the bottle. The is it Just Egg?
Oh yeah, Just Egg. Yeah. We get that from time to time too. Yeah.
Yeah, they had it on
And
sale the other day.
Yeah, there's a recipe. I just saw the video. Vegan Richa, I think is her name. She does this.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you search her, I think on YouTube, she's got a great like basic egg recipe that's kind of like that Just Egg, and then she shows you like I think it's 10 different recipes to use with that.
Yes, and it's made out of mung dal, which is yellow split peas, and you soak them overnight or for several hours, and then put them in a blender with some liquid, whirl it up, and add a bunch of seasonings, turmeric, kala namak, that kind of thing, and you can put it in your pan and cook it just like Just Egg. So it is, I think that, I love Vegan Richa. She's got lots of good cookbooks out too. So I think her name is Richa Hingle, something like that. She's Indian. I think Dilip might know her actually, but she has great cookbooks, and I have a few of her cookbooks. She's really good. So I made her omelet. She does an omelet with that, and it's made with yellow split peas, mung dal.
Yeah.
It was good. It was
I'm
really
thinking
good.
about making that, like soaking my beans overnight because I have some, and it's been a while since I've tried to make this. And when I tried it, like not using her recipe, a different one, it didn't turn out very well. So I might try hers and and see how she's got little tips and tricks on there too. So that's a good resource if you guys are wanting to try, like Carolyn said, like an omelet or something like that. She's got that good basic recipe for that. So thought just share that resource with you guys today.
Right.
Any other questions for Carolyn or myself? Let me see. I only got
I almost
two
made
questions.
I almost made an omelet today. I was thinking about making an omelet, and then I remembered frittata is basically like a big open omelet. So
Yeah. So you
let's do
kind of
frittata.
did.
So yeah, let's do that. It's easier.
You covered two with one, right?
Exactly. It's like a quiche / omelet all combined.
Yes. It looks really good. Wish I was
Oh,
there to eat some of it for you.
I know. I can stick some in the mail to you, but it'd be cold.
Yes.
by the time I got there.
It might be frozen, so it might be
It'd
okay.
be
If it's
frozen.
cold here. I'll just
Is
thaw
it really cold there? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
snowing a little bit today. So has it been cool down there?
Today it's not that cold. Today it's in the 40s, maybe low 50s and raining, but it's supposed to get down in the mid 20s tonight, which is not good because we've had rain, which means we'll have ice in the morning. But yeah, it's cold for Alabama. So there's that.
I was wondering.
Everything's relative, right? It's
Yeah.
it's cold to me, but it may not be, you'd be like, "Woo, it's warm here." So yeah.
Oh. Well,
Anyway.
let's talk about our giveaways, Carolyn. So we got the black salt. That's what I like to call it.
Kalanamak.
Yes, I don't know why I have a hard time saying that. I just do. And so
Indian black kalanamak is what it says. Okay.
yeah, so that's gonna be one of our giveaways today. And that's just that kind of gives it that kind of sulfur eggy flavor. I think sometimes when you cook with it, the flavor kind of goes away. So sometimes you have to add a little bit more at the end to kind of get that back.
Yep.
And then just, I feel like a little goes a long way with that. So start with a little amount and then just work your way up to what you need.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yep,
that's
you can
really
add
great.
more.
It's a great little ingredient. And let's see, the other one was a VRG magazine subscription. Yep. So what we'll have to do is our winners are going to have to email Karen, and I have her email address I'll post once we get our winners. Is there any other questions out there from anybody else other than Janet and Lisa? Those are the only two that I have so far.
So one of them gets one and one gets the other.
Yeah, we'll just see who gets what. And I guess I think these two have been on our show a few times at least, so we'll see if they already have any of those as a gift. And
I was going to say, Janet or Lisa, let us know if you already get the VRG magazine. Then we'll, make sure you get the Kalanamak instead. But
yeah,
what if they both get the VRG magazine? I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. But
so Lisa or Jan, do either of you have the VRG magazine? Just put a comment in there if you do. Otherwise, we will. Oh, Janet says she does get the magazine. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, Lisa, do you get the magazine? I'll have to find out, because maybe we could just send them each a bag of Kalanamak. That might be a better idea.
Yeah. If Lisa's still on.
All right, Lisa, we'll give you another 30 seconds here. And then maybe we'll just send Janet the bag of Kalanamak. Might be the best option. Yeah, okay. I'm not seeing Lisa coming back up. Do you?
Nope. I don't see anything from Lisa.
I think she might have left us. Okay. All right. Should we just make the executive decision that Janet gets a bag of Kalanamak?
Okay. So Lisa says she does not get the magazine. So
ta-da.
There you go. So, all right. Well, should we just go ahead and just say then that Janet can get the black salt and Lisa can get the magazine since you don't have it? And then everybody will have a little something. So congratulations. Thanks for being our winners.
We didn't even have to get out the whatever that random thing is.
I know. I had it ready to go. So Lisa and Janet, I'm going to put up on the banner. So watch for this here. If you could please use this email address. Our So Many Cooks email is not currently working for any of us. We were trying during the show to get it to work. It was not working. So if you could please, oops, I don't know why that went away. Okay, sorry. Hopefully you can see this. Let me know that you got this email address written down, and you can send Karen an email with your full name and your mailing address. And I will let her know what each of you won.
Perfect. Okay. Hopefully Karen can come back and join us one of these days.
I know.
Seeing Karen. She's like Johnnon's doppelganger. They look so much alike.
Yeah, they look like they could be sisters, right?
They really do. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So did both of you ladies get that email address?
Is it Karen's business address? Is that what that was?
It's her Gmail address.
Okay.
Let me pop it back up one more time here.
I think Lisa got it. Okay.
Oops, sorry. This, I don't know why there's like a little timer on this
Oh.
banner. Oh, I see. I messed it up. I'm just messing things up today, you guys. So just sorry.
We could put it in the comments. Karen, what is it? Karen, what?
I wouldn't, just because it's, well, it's,
Oh, okay.
I think I got it.
Okay.
Timer off. Okay.
There we go. Oh, Lisa says I can't see the email. Okay.
Okay. It's coming.
It's coming back up in a second.
There we go. Here it is.
Karen.
Thanks for your patience. I'm no Dillip. This is not my second. Okay, let's see.
Lisa, can you see that address now? The email address?
So Janet's got it, looks like.
Okay, good. And, okay, let's say it out loud for Lisa. She says she cannot see the address. Karen something. I have to get really close to my screen. It's very far over there. Karen or something. What does that say?
So Karen and then ORAWCHEF@gmail.com.
Karen O. Raw Chef @gmail.com. That's right. Karen Osborne. So she's Karen O.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay.
Karen O. Raw Chef @gmail.com.
You're so smart, Carolyn.
I'm good at word puzzles. That's all.
I can tell.
I'm a Wordle expert, but okay.
And I've
Lisa,
never done
did you get it that time, Lisa? Karen O. Raw Chef @gmail.com. Hopefully Lisa got that. Let us know. I see Janet got it.
Right.
Goodness. All right.
Well, I don't know. Do we have anything else we want to talk about? Let's see. Our next show.
Valentine's Day for some crazy reason. I don't know why, but Valentine's Day. I got other stuff to do that day, but all right.
Yeah, we'll see if that date sticks or not. But that's, I think, what the current schedule is. I don't think I can make that for the Q&A. I don't think I'd be able to stick around for that, but it might be a little harder to get people. Oh, it looks like Janet or Lisa says thanks. All right. So it looks like she's got that. Okay. Janet says, see you next month. So yeah. So foods that we love. Is that what the theme was for that?
So many loving foods. I think that Dillip came up with that. So it's so many. Maybe I'm taking it as so many foods we love. So I'm just going to put something I love on there. So what do I love? I don't know. I mean, everything we do is heart healthy. So it's, heart health awareness, but literally everything we make is heart healthy. So, that's kind of silly. I don't know. Maybe it's foods you would make for someone you love.
Yeah. Or somebody maybe could cook with you. Maybe we have a guest cook. Like I like to do this show with Nora. Like we've done our lasagna. It's like our favorite recipe to cook together.
Cooking with someone you love. That could be
that would be fun. So you could have Brian join you.
I could have my husband on here.
You should.
That would be a mess.
Hey, that'd be entertaining.
It would be entertaining, all right. Yeah. Oh my heavens. Yeah. Maybe so. We'll have to run that by Dilip. Can we bring on someone we love to cook with us? Maybe that would be a good idea. I already know what he's going to have me make. I know if I'm making it for Brian, it's going to have to be a bowl of some kind. The man loves a bowl.
Does he?
So-
Yeah, we love our Buddha bowls around here. That's what we call them.
Yep. That's his thing. Having a Buddha bowl. He
It would be
loves
fun to do it with our spouses or significant others.
that. Would be
I don't,
okay.
think, I don't think my husband would do it though. He's always busy on Saturdays with house projects. So I don't know if I could get him to just step
for
away.
5 minutes, come stand there and at least taste it.
That's great. Maybe he would do that for me.
Foods for someone you love. Foods for someone you love. Yeah, we'll have to run that by Dilip. Can we cook with someone we love? How about that? That could be interesting.
That would be interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's a fun idea. I actually like that idea. So
Let's do
okay.
it.
Yep.
Talk to your
All right.
hubby.
Yep. Oh, he'll do it. My problem is getting him out of here when I do
Oh.
this.
Just give him a time limit. We'll have to say, okay, here's your time. You get 5 minutes. You have to eat, help eat, and leave.
I know. Yeah.
No, or maybe we have him join for Q&A.
That could be interesting. I mean, he is a doctor. He can answer medical questions. So general medical questions, not people's individual medical questions.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Yeah, it would be
And-
fun to have him join us with Q&A with you sometime.
that would be fun. Okay. Yeah, he ran errands. I was going to say I kicked him out. No, he chose to go run errands. So he's running errands. But yeah,
Yeah, run
he
it
would
by him.
probably do it. He would probably do it.
I bet he
I
would.
think- Yeah, we could. Yeah, let's run that by Dilip and see if he's cool with, for loving foods, have someone you love to be part of your cooking demo. I like it.
Yeah, me too. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for your help, Carolyn. And
Thank you, Cody, for stepping in valiantly into Dilip's shoes today.
I don't know if I can handle this again. I apologize. I apologize for those who had to watch it.
You did
Yeah,
great.
It was a little rough
You're
start,
great.
but no,
You're
thank
great. Yeah. I'm still curious if at the very beginning, if all of a sudden you saw me standing in my kitchen, but honestly, I don't know.
I just saw it as blackness on mine, and then I'm like, why is it not going? And I'm like, oh no. So then I figured it out, but
I don't know. I saw me looking up going, oh my gosh, why am I on screen right now?
we'll have to just quickly rewind it after the show and see what's actually played.
Me standing there washing dishes going, why am I on camera?
I kind of
Nobody
hope that's
wants
what
to
it is, Carolyn.
That would be- There's me washing dishes going, what's happening? Why am I on the screen? Nobody wants
Oh
to
my
see me
goodness.
washing dishes.
Yeah. Oh gosh. All right, well, we'll let you guys go. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching and putting up with me. And we
You
will.
did great. You did great. Yay. Better you than me.
One for the team.
I would have messed it up every possible way. So that's why I would need Brian here. He could do that. Brian.
Yeah.
Could, so not
Well,
me.
yeah, I should have had him step in. Darn it.
I know, right?
Next
But-
time. Next time. I'll be.
Yeah, no. So, all right.
All right.
Well, we'll
Well,
figure
thanks.
out something about loving food. I'm not sure what he's talking about with that, but I'm going to invite Brian to be there since I love him. He can he can be in there with me. So
Wonderful. Okay,
that would
cool.
be good.
Well, thank you. And I hope everybody has a great rest of your day and weekend. And we hope to see you in February.
Yeah. Stay safe, everybody. Stay warm if you're cold where you are.
Yes. All right. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
So many cooks in the kitchen, so many recipes to share. So many cooks in the kitchen with meals for you to prepare. We've got fruits and grains, veggies and beans, more healthy food than you've ever seen. So many cooks in the kitchen, plant-based meals to prepare. So many cooks in the kitchen with ideas we're happy to share.